And good evening, wonderful viewers, wherever you are. Welcome back to another favorite program on TV, Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution. And it's Sport 360 Light. As you all know already, it's a household name, and I'm Big Sam International. Once again, as we are located in the little smiling coast of Africa, the Gambia, where we love Mamaland. And our studios here in the West Coast region side of Gambia, that is Farato. Another edition of Sport 360 Light. And today, another happy moment for me. That's my little boy that passed through. Sport 360, as always, host is Bakary, Manneh, aka Big Sam. And my guest today is no other than my own little brother called Ebrima Njie. Some call him Jais, fondly called Robben. Robben, welcome to Sport 360 Light. Welcome.
Thank you so very much, my boss. Indeed, it's truly a pleasure to be here. It's like I am home,
Yeah.
definitely.
Home sweet home.
Definitely, yeah. I am Ebrima Fadera, working with Muslim Media Corporation based in the United States of America. And I'm also working as the president of Sign Lighting Girls Education, which is a charitable organization protecting the rights of girls and young women. And yes, a public administration major from the University of the Gambia.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we have our degree holders right here, not like the Rocky Bees and name them, you know. Thank you very much, Jais. That's so fantastic. But meanwhile, you got our viewers out there, maybe your fans or your people or your family are watching. You can just say hi to them before we proceed.
Yes, a big shout out to my guys, especially young girls and women. I would really appreciate you to get, these discussions, because we are going to talk about very important points about issues of girls and whatever related to them. So, big out to my big family, Brikama, Ganso, yes.
The man of the moment.
Yes, Anjara, yeah, my people.
The KBs, the
Definitely,
entourage.
yes.
So
I
here
think
we
Big
are.
Sam, we have to do something.
Obviously, we have.
Yes. The crew need to do something.
You know,
This Easter, we have to make it happen.
No, we definitely have to.
Definitely.
We definitely.
Yeah.
And it's very important that one day guys just come to me and say, bro, you know what? It's high time. As they call us now, the Brikama camp, we go to the top of sports journalism. You say, no, we need to have. And then, thank God we are here. You remember you told me categorically about this.
Yeah, definitely. It's important for us to raise our voice.
Okay.
We are not only going to be defenders for the rest of our life.
Okay.
We also need to get part to leadership to know how it feels for other people. Then we will able to balance everything how it is. This is why I come to you to tell you that, hey, let us also go there and see what is there.
Yeah.
We are always behind.
Exactly.
So, but when we step inside, we will also know the challenges, the problems, and then whatever is there. Then we will be able to, and thank God that we have a very good number that at least can able to speak for us.
The whole number of Brikama camp are there,
Yeah,
West Coast.
definitely.
Okay, before we put card to the host, tell my viewers, who is Ebrima Njie? Born, a little bit of education.
Thank you so very much. This is a very good question for me, but sometimes a bit emotional to talk about myself, because the journey was too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, the journey was too far. Imagine, somebody coming from the village who has to walk 5 kilometers to reach to senior secondary school.
Wow.
From Quinala to Nema. It's not easy. After your senior secondary school too, you have to come, rural urban migration from Kiyang to Kombo, which is a different life, different taste, different different people, because people living in the village and people living in the urban area, these are different people, different mindsets, despite we are all Muslims or we are all Christians or whatever, but, there is a huge difference, when it comes to societal beliefs, societal perspective, issues about different issues. So it's a roller coaster. And, thank God today I am here. Yeah, completed my bachelor's degree in public administration at the University of the Gambia. I'm also advocating for the right of girls and young women, having my own organization, which is from 2020. I see the pain of girls, I see the pain of women, I see the pain of single mothers. This has inspired me so much, and my pain as well. So this has inspired me so much, to establish an organization that is protecting the right of girls and young women in the Gambia. And then I'm happy that we are able to have more than 70 sponsor girls in our project, and also we do a lot of advocacy programs as far as the protection of girls and young women is concerned. And yes, I'm also a sport journalist as well, because currently I am working with Muslim Media Corporation as their Senegambia correspondent.
Awesome. Wow, that's a biography out there.
Yes.
In fact, today we'll be talking about sports, but we will get Ebrima Njie, inshallah, in one of our program called Exclusive Interview. This one deals with people and their life and their work and their stuff. We'll come to that. Definitely. We'll have you there. But today we'll be talking about sport. Njie, many people know you in the sports, and in fact, you've passed through me. You anchor your own program at certain radio station. When do you start following sports and sports journalism?
Yeah, you know, for me, that's what I said, like, the journey, it's too far. I was a very good football player. That's why people call me Robben.
Robben,
yeah. I was very fast.
The legendary
definitely. A very fast winger.
Okay.
You know, I can dribble past 1-2.
Wow.
You know, Farato, you know, I was living with my sister.
Okay.
You know, he schools me. I go to my senior secondary school, living with my sister. You know, I cannot just do anything without not thanking her. Fatu,
okay.
That's Faba's wife.
Faba.
Everybody in Farada, even a 5-year-old child knows Fadera Kunda.
Yeah, in fact, even Brikam by extension.
Yeah, so Faba has played a very great role in my life. You know, a lot of people call me Robben Biden because I was a very good football player. But, you know, in a moment I could not continue with my career due to an injury. So I have this passion of football and I have a passion for sports.
Okay.
I say, okay, in an event that I cannot be there
physically,
I can be there behind the scene to talk about football players, to talk about stories. So this is what inspired me to, you know, to become a sport journalist. And a lot of people were asking me, look, you are studying public administration, and then how can you become a journalist? And then I was like, oh my God. This is like, you know, journalism, it's part of social science.
Exactly.
And public administration is part of social science. I can be there to talk about administrative aspects of journalists. You know, journalists, they need administrators.
Of course.
They need finance. You know, they cannot go without finance. They cannot go without proper strategies. They cannot go without proper implementation. And who will do it for them? They need us. They need administrators. So that's what inspired me so much to study public administration. And then my focus now, it's based on analysis.
Okay.
You know, analysis. This is what I want to build myself. This is why I always call myself that an aspiring public policy expert. So this is what I want to build myself in the future. Okay.
Yeah. But some say too, you are a good auditor too.
Yes, because you know, analysis, you know, it's part of me. So, and also I am very good with numbers.
Okay.
Because I am working with Germans, you know, since 5 years now. So, like, you know, they have a very different working environment with the Gambians. So I always like, I am 10 steps ahead of Gambians.
Okay.
So working with Germans, especially with their administrative stuff,
it's too tough.
It's too tough.
There's no slackness anywhere.
No.
It's all like
and then
this.
you have to be factual, you have to be very honest, and then you have to be truthful, and then you have to be very transparent.
Okay. In your dealings.
In your dealings, yeah. And then thank God that I'm also working with another project. This is a social project that approached me this January to be their project secretary and also their consultant and advisor in the Gambia.
I'll definitely have you on exclusive interview. I think most of these things will be very, very good in that. We'll talk about that sometime next year. But now what are some of the sports platforms or some of the sports associations that Ebrima Njie belongs to?
Right now, I am a bona fide member of Sports Journalism Association.
SJAG.
And not only being a member, but I'm also contributing my dues. Because, you know, it's one thing to be a member and it's one thing to be committed.
Exactly.
So I urge people not only to be a mere member, but to be committed. This is why I encourage you to get in.
Exactly.
You cannot be just there just to fill the gap. We passed that generation. When you are there, you have to be there to add your voice. For me, wherever I feel like I am here just to be like that, I try to go out because my value is no more there.
It's no more. Yeah.
So wherever you are, you have
to see yourself.
You are valued. You have to raise your voice. You have to represent something there. So you cannot just be there for the sake of being there. No, this doesn't define you. What defines you as a person is to be there, to have even though you don't have a full-time participation, but at least your voice can be heard. your values can be respected. So I am part of Sports Journalism Association, and also I'm part of Gambia Press Union.
Okay,
GPU. And then I'm
GPU,
and then I'm also paying my dues. I was happy to be part of GPU members who vote for the last election.
Okay.
Yes, so and then an SJAG as well, Gambia Sports Journalism Association, because it's only for paid up members that would vote for the election. So I am very happy.
Yeah. And so many platforms, the West Coast platform,
West Coast, West Coast
other
Media, and then West Coast Media. One thing I am not part of, it's sports administrations.
Oh, okay.
I am not part of that because I don't want to be conflicted.
Okay.
Yes, I want
in your dealings.
In my dealings,
okay.
yeah. I want to be an independent analyst that would analyze everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to, the issue of Brikama United comes, I am this to Brikama United, or I am this to Brikama Sports Committee.
Okay.
This will, haunt me, or this will, bring something to me. No, this is why I remain independent, and then I can able to analyze freely with peace of mind.
Yeah, because if you are a PR or you are part of something, it's very hard for you to speak about it.
Restricted.
I remember you were tuned to Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution, and the Sport 360 Live with me, myself, Big Sam, every Sunday from the hour 8 to 9 o'clock, right here in our studios. And my guest is Ebrima Njie, aka Njie. So Robben, they call him. And that brings me to the broader question, which is, let's talk about, from your own view, Gambian sports in general. Being football, both male and female, and any other thing that you can tell these wonderful sports. On the
Gambia football, especially Gambia sports, it's moving. It's moving in a way. I will be honest that it's moving, because if you look at numbers, they never lie. Looking at numbers, Gambia sports is moving, but looking at it from a developmental perspective, compare using Gambia to other countries. Our sports it's a bit lacking.
Okay.
And we can. I always tell people, you cannot measure our football development for qualifying to AFCON or for participating in other competitions. It's easier in participation. I always tell administrators, especially sports administrators, that look, organizing competitions and getting into activities doesn't basically means that you are achieving. No, your achievements should be based on policies. Your achievements should be based on numbers. Your achievements should be based on data that it's analyzed, to see a complete shift from one administrator to the other one.
Exactly.
So which it's really lacking. And then I think in the Gambia, we are moving in a one way, but the other way, when it comes to our administrative setup, this is where we are lacking. And one big thing is capacity. We lack capacity as a body. We lack awareness and sensitizations.
Okay.
And also I don't know what is resources. I don't want to talk about it, because that one it's true.
Okay.
We don't have resources.
We don't have.
No, we don't have the resources. So I believe, Big Sam, it's quite not easy, but I believe the future is bright.
It's bright.
With young people coming into leadership, especially sports, the future will be bright. Yeah.
How about the infrastructure? I think this is the main obstacles in both football and athletics, because we're also part of it. In fact, of recent, this last weekend, the National Gambia GA Athletic Association held their trials. And then guess what? At the mobile traffic training at Bakary, at Kanifing, on the bare sand, that's what we do. We see the famous Basse that's just passed. It's also on the ground. And then, so when we talk about infrastructure, it's about football. You can even talk about volleyball, etc. Infrastructural development.
You look, you don't need a microscope to tell you the level of our infrastructural development in sports. You don't need, you don't even need to Google it.
You don't need it.
No, it's clear. For how long we did not have our own national team playing in our country? For how long? So you don't need a microscope, or you don't need a rocket science to justify that. That is the honest truth, that in terms of infrastructure, we are really lacking. And one thing we can able to get into infrastructural development, it's as a country, we need to know where our sports development is going.
Exactly.
Look, do we have a reliable data that will analyze how our sports is impacting the economy, the livelihood of people in the country. You know, you have a lot of Gambian foreign players. Yesterday, I saw a video from Yankuba Minte. The mother was crying.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, this is very emotional.
I go through it.
Did people know how much Yankuba Minte and other national team players are contributing to our GDP? Sports is contributing a lot to our GDP.
Very well.
So, but how often people are aware of this? This is why I say, and then these are also contributed to where Yankuba Minte is from Gambia. Whatever he has outside will come back to the country.
Yep.
So it's like helping our grassroots football to develop. It's helping the Gambia to move in one way.
That's right.
It's not all about politics. Sports is very, very important in terms of infrastructural development. When we have more sport athletes that are representing the Gambia in international level, it's an equal opportunity for Gambia also to be moved, to be recognized. Right now, you don't need anybody from Brighton to tell you about Gambia, because Yankuba is from Gambia.
From
and Yankuba
Gambia.
is maybe someone somewhere in Brighton might not know the Gambia by then, but having Yankuba Minte in
the
that
team,
he or she knows Yankuba Gambia.
Yeah.
So sports is an extra development that can move the country forward if and only if we focus on grassroots development. Gambia is losing talents. Not long ago, one of our our Brikama born, who schools in the Brikama, you know, moved to Senegal. You know, who is recognizing him? Do we have a proper system that is looking at it to know who is good at this, who is not good at this? We do not have it. Do we have structures? You know, how is our grassroots football structured? How is our grassroots football put in picture that even a single match you played, your name is recorded in that system. You will know that this is what you are doing, and this is your exactly the potential that you have. So in next 4 or 5 years, you can represent Gambia, or you can represent your team or your community at any level. We do not have it. Talent identification should be our key priority. We live in that world now that you can just see a small boy today playing, tomorrow you see him somewhere.
Somewhere else, yeah.
Because they are growing very fast.
Yeah, you talk about Yankuba, the transition.
You talk about Yankuba, his transition is very fast.
Yeah.
You talk about Alassana Yirajang, who played for Brikama, a zonal cup final between Brikama and Sanya. He was called for national team. Yeah. Just imagine, I was looking at the pictures during that day, and then I look at his call. I was like, oh my God. The transition is very fast. So we have to wake up to match with the transition. If our administration is not matched with the transition, we are still lagging behind.
Awesome, Fadera there. And that reminds me, the Gambia International Stadium is been temporarily approved. Yes. Temporarily approved here. Let me break it down for you. Is we can play matches that is from the under-20s down. That is the female football, but not the national side. So I want you to know about that. That's a plus. It is better than have a love is better than none. Yeah. So in this, some part of the recommendation is done for you to fulfill that. Then it will be finally. But Alhamdulillah, we have the chance coming up. So that game we can watch it in the Gambia and some of the games. So it's temporary. And then a little bit about that, and also on the just concluded on the 17 tournament in Morocco. Although oh my, they lose from the tournament, and then they have another throw of the dice to qualify to the World Cup, playing Uganda. The winner makes it 10 for Africa, because all the 8 quarterfinal teams have automatically qualified. So the play is for 2. I think Egypt was playing with another team, and then you have Gambia and Uganda. And unfortunately, again, the Gambia under 17 lose. Anyway, kudos to Manneh and his team. But then we should have gone to the World Cup, but then here we are. A little bit on that before we move.
Yeah, you know, especially at the grassroots level, you know, at the grassroots level, our participation is very important. Yeah. Hence, you know, we cannot, you know, solely, you know, put our hopes on giving them pressure that they have to win. Exactly. You know, it's a must win. No, it is a grassroots level that we have to work with their mindset to develop them. Okay, no, to qualify, it's very important. But their participation plays a very key role, you know, in helping our football grassroots to develop. So this is why I said, okay, these young boys that participate in Under 17, we need to track them. You know, next coming years, these are going to be the ones that should represent the Gambia. It's happening in other countries. it should also happen in the Gambia. The moment you are into under 17, now the whole nation should eye on you, that you can be a very good prospect to represent the Gambia at the under 20 level, the Chan team, and even the national team level.
Exactly. That is it. So thank you so much. Well, we know our coach Manneh is definitely the right man at the right place, because that's where his focus is, the grassroots football. So good luck next time. And of course, the temporal opening of our national stadium, from the Ochan team to the last, and the female football also is going to be played in the Gambia. We'll be watching. And then what is left is, as they were they pinpoint to them what is left, that they should get ready, and then the national team also will be playing. Let's move to the topic of the day. That is the female football.
Yeah.
You are an advocate for women and girls.
So
now, female football in the Gambia is quite different from now. Now it's very well followed. The league is very, very tense, and they play a very good game. Your part in fact, CAF or FIFA is pumping a lot of money into female football across the whole world. Your take of the Gambian football, and let's talk about the Gambian female football in general.
Yeah, thank you very much, for getting me part of this session to discuss the issue of females. This is my passion. I always tell people, look, I am happy whenever I have a platform to talk about the issue of girls and young women, because every day this is my research. Every day this is, my laptop. When I open it, I look at the issues that are affecting girls. How can we mitigate it, or how can we see a best way to help girls and young women? Female football in the Gambia, it's moving. I am glad we are bridging the gap. I think it's important for people in the Gambia to know that Gambia is also bridging the gap in terms of female participation in education, female participation in leadership, female participation in sports. We are bridging the gap. 20 years ago or 50 years ago, if you would come to this country, to talk about female football, who will listen to you?
Nobody.
So
that is a waste of time.
Yeah, a waste of time. Cultural barriers, societal perspective. There are several issues that affect girls and young women when it comes to getting their right. So, but thank God, we are advocating. We are talking to the community to know that, look, girls can make a better living when they get into when they become football players, when they become athletes, when they get into office, when they get into leadership positions. Girls can do better. So these are things that are also changing the mindset of the people. And thank God, as today, we did not reach there, but we are close to the gap, to bring in the gap. And that is exactly happening in Gambia. Right now, last week, during the weekend, Berewule was playing against Police. And if you look at I was watching it from LSTV, the crowd was there.
And this was played in?
At late Sleman South Memorial.
At the Goal Project?
At the Goal Project.
FIFA, yes.
FIFA Goal Project. The spectators was awesome. It was very good. Berewule was playing. And even if Berewule was playing against Red Scorpion, you go to Box Bar, the stadium, it's full. So that is telling you that, look, the mindset is changing gradually. And with time, with proper measures and with proper participation, we will be able to reach there. Slowly but surely. Slowly.
But if you have to advise the do's and the don'ts, especially those in administration of football and sports, especially that including girl, child, female, what would be, as you are more advocate for that, what would be your advice, the do's and the don'ts?
Yeah, it's, to be honest, I always say this, it's very, very difficult working with, girls and young women.
Exactly.
Trying to, the perception of people, how they interpret us, and then how the society look at us, and then how we, the ones, that are there for these young girls, talking about their right, talking about, issues that are affecting them. It's really difficult. But, we are calling the community, the society, that we are not enemies. Fighting for the right of girls doesn't basically mean that you are trying to fight the society or you are trying to be somebody else. We are only trying to protect the right of girls and young women. And in sports, for me, I want to take this as a campaign, you know, to visit, you know, authorities, to talk to them, to see a lot of policies that are going to be there to protect girls and young women. I have the feeling that girls in sports are not protected as they should be.
Exactly, that's what I want.
Yeah, you know, if you look at football teams in the Gambia, female football teams, even the male football teams, but my focus it's
Let's
on
talk
female
about the
football
female
team.
football, yes.
You know, structures, I don't want to talk about them. They are not structured. They are not good policies that are protecting the right of girls and young women. I am calling on the teams, sports administrators, especially even the government. There was an incident that happens in Brikama that involves
and that went viral.
But that went viral. My organization, Sign Learning Girls Education, we raised a statement to condemn, not only to condemn, but we also write for authorities to wake up, to start looking at issues that are affecting female football, and also how best they can able to you know, mitigate those assaults or those violence or that whatever it's going to affect the right of girls and young women. And look, Big Sam, we are not doing this, you know, just because, okay, we don't like a team or we don't want somebody. No, we are protecting a generation.
Okay.
We are making sure that, okay, whosoever is involved, we don't look at the color, we don't look at whether we know you or not, but we want for the society to know, okay, this is what is happening. And in the future, if such thing has to happen, this is what is going to be the yardstick. So we are calling on policy makers to look at issues that are affecting the girl child, especially awareness and sensitization. I was, you know, observing conversations from a lot of WhatsApp groups. I feel so sad that...
I was following too.
Yeah, I think we need sensitizations. In sports...
Big time.
Yeah, this is a campaign that I want to get in, to make sure that we have more sensitizations in sports, especially when it comes to female participation and their protection. And also safe reporting and complaint mechanisms. Look, the journalist who come up with this story, without him, we will not able to know what has happened to this guy.
Exactly.
So these are, we are going to promote, you know, safe reporting and also complaints mechanisms. We will talk to the authorities. You know, issues cannot happen to girls and then the society checked. That syndrome must be out, like a culture of silence. You know, all these are things, you know, barriers that are affecting them. All these are things that we believe are at the past. So we have to set, you know, a generation that, you know, it's there to protect, not there to harm. A generation that is there to love, not there to discourage. A generation that is there to be there for them, but not to distance them because of their agenda. They are part of us. They are with us. And with them, we can able to make a very good development with their participation. Research has shown that, you know, any country that is ready to meet its boundless potential has to have female participation. Without their participation, we will have challenges when it comes to development. We will have challenges when it comes to all our developmental aspects. So we need them.
We need them. Quite agree. Well, before we run out of time, what is the most important message you got for my viewers regarding the issue that we're talking about? Any important message maybe you think I didn't even ask, but you want my viewers to know?
Yeah, the important message I want to, you know, voice out, it's wheresoever, whether it's sports or not, being with girls and young women, you have to double up. We have, you know, Gambia has undergone a challenge that is still happening. That is right to education, right to leadership positions, right to a lot of things. So we have to wake up. We have to do our best to make sure that girls are protected. We have to make sure that they have their boundless potential. And also, we have to have policies and regulations that protect them and that protect their rights. Atlantic viewers, I thank you guys so very much. And Big Sam, I really thank you, and also the management. And I also, it will be also important for media houses to have programs that are meant to protect the right of girls and young women.
Especially in sports.
Especially in sports. People are not talking about it. People are not, in fact, seeing the efforts of girls in sports. People are not seeing it. People are only focusing on men football. But there are a lot of things happening in female football, and there are a lot of stars in female football. We have Mbasi, you know, we have Penda, who in fact scored a goal last week.
Penda.
So, but who is talking about it?
Yeah.
So I think it's important for us to look at, you know, them, you know, as game changers, not game breakers. They're game changers.
Game changers, but not game breakers.
Yeah.
Njie, thank you so much for coming. But I do
so
promise that Njie will be on my exclusive interview sometimes next week to talk boldly about the association and all that. So, but this is sports, and I think my viewers get the best from the female and all the advice. And I hope not only them, but there will be changes.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Victor.
And that does it for Sport 360 Live today, Sunday. We'll be back next week. But remember, sponsors are still invited. You can see the numbers on the, well, thank you so much. Before we go, big thanks to, I still can't remember the names of my lady president, Kumba Ami, and of course, Aliu, and the one and only Rocky B. But then, my own cameraman, to my heart, that is no other than Edward Nuhabaji. Thank you so much. With me, Big Sam International, we'll be back next week, Sunday, same place, same times. Keep on sporting.